Good evening, students, and welcome to another class of business data analytics. All right. So today we'll be covering preparing financial statement, and I just want to say that the last week class was not. Am I audible? You can tell me on the chat. The last week class was not good, so we shall do a redo of the class. So allow me just for today. We go to what has been planned, and we'll redo the class. Don't worry, we'll do the class. So today we are focusing on preparing financial statements, right? And this is under VDA online tutor. My phone number and my email address has been given here, and it also will be in the description box down below. Okay, and if you're watching this video on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe and you like, you share, you click on the notification bell so that when we post a new video, you are notified of the video. And we have different packages, so you can liaise with me and we talk about the packages. So today we'll be covering preparing financial statements, and the most examined one is the statement of cash flows. But also you can see here, we'll do preparing 3 statements of cash flows. Then we'll come to the income statement and the balance sheet. We'll do 2. Then we'll do a small sensitivity analysis of the forecasted statement. Then we'll do also this one is a 2-way data table. It's like a sensitivity analysis of NPV. This one was in the last sitting, I think so, or in the pilot. And we also look at mutually exclusive projects. So we shall begin right away. Right. So the question reads this way: the following statement of profit and loss and statement of financial position relates to Juhudi Limited for the year ended. We've been given the respective years from 2015 to 2018. So here you are required to prepare a cash flow statement for Juhudi for the year ending 2016, 2017, and 2018. So I think let me do it up here so that I can just move here like here, right? So we'll start with Juhudi Limited. Then you do a statement of cash flows for the years. So you've been told from the year 2016, isn't it? You have been told from the year 2016. You can't be told from the year 2015 because you're not having the opening balances of 2015, right? So I'll take this one. I do Control C. Sorry, I'll take the whole thing. I do Control C. I come here. I do Control V, and I'll take the whole of this way. Then I press Control B to bold, and I do Alt HBH for thick bottom border, isn't it? So we have been told to prepare the statement of cash flows. We can just look at the details of the statement of profit and loss. Like we have sales, cost of sales, selling, general and administration expenses, depreciation, other net income and expenses, interest income, interest expense, and income taxes, the dividends paid. Then we have the statement of financial position. We have the marketable securities. This is cash and cash equivalent. We have account receivables. This one will go, all of them, the 3 will go under working capital changes. Then we have total current assets. We have the depreciation here. We have the accumulated depreciation and the PPE. And this one, let me just here, you can see it's a subtraction because this depreciation. Yeah, and we have other current assets. Then we have total current assets. I'll do this on Control Bolt also so that I can go easily even the total current assets. Control Bolt. Even these ones, I'll do them control bold so that I can see. And you see here we have the accounts payable, short-term debt, other liabilities, total current liability, long-term debt, deferred income taxes, other non-current liability. We have retained earnings and paid up capital. So we shall begin. As you can see our question here, we don't, under the current liabilities, we don't have the deferred. Under non-current liabilities, we don't have the deferred tax. The deferred, this one is deferred income tax. It's not the deferred taxes. And also we don't have the current tax under current liability. So for our question, we can just begin directly from our net income, isn't it? Because there is no adjustment of the tax. We always begin earnings before net income because we have to adjust our tax. This adjustment actually it's just to show you under the third one. This one that was in the December 2022 examination, and you can see, you see under the current liability, you can see income tax payable. So here we cannot start with net income, so we shall go straight forward and start. So here we always start control bolt, then I do alt H2 for italics, then I do shift operating activities, right? So we are starting with net income. We start with net income, isn't it? And just let me see. Actually, I wanted these ones to be here so I can do this way. Control X, and I put them here. Control V, and I widen out so that it's very clear. Don't worry. We are here, isn't it? We can do this way. This way, I'll take this. I do Control X, and I just place them here. Or rather, that one will distract my table. I just leave the copied part. I take this one. Sometimes it's good you make things neat. I do this way. Also this one. I do merge and center, isn't it? All right, so we are starting with net income. So this one, we are just taking it directly. We are just taking it directly from the income statement. So we come from the bust from 2016. So we take the 2016, we do control enter, control backspace to jump to the active cell. And then we drag it along, isn't it? Yeah, it's that way. Then we come now, we add back. I'll do alt H2. Then I do add back for italics, add back. I'll do columns, then I jump. Then it's depreciation. I press tab. So also depreciation, we are taking it from the income statement. So I'll come from 2016. I take the depreciation. I do control backspace to jump to the active cell, and I drag it along. All right, and just a minute, I check on something. Yeah. So when I'm checking on something, and you know this under this preparing financial statements, actually you must have a background knowledge. You must have done the parts. So like just a minute. And so like we shall just continue. Actually, I was looking for something. So like you just go back here. We had done depreciation. So you come to your income statement. You get you have the interest expense. Actually, this one the interest, you have the interest income and the interest expense. You can see under here we've done like we've added the interest income, and we've also minus the but we can also, the interest income, we can change it under financing, but we shall just go forward and we do a working capital changes. Let's keep the align. So I'll do Alt H2, Control Bolt, working capital changes. So under working capital changes, we have the account receivables, we also have the inventory, and we have the payables, the accounts payables, because they are coming from here, they are coming from here, they are coming from here. So this one is cash and cash equivalent. This one, account receivable, inventories. We also have the other current assets. We also have other current assets, because it's just working capital changes. Just working capital changes. And this one will go under investing. So under liabilities, we shall have other current liabilities also. We shall have other current liabilities under here, under working capital changes. Don't worry, actually this one may be a little bit different from the what we always do from the book part, but actually this is the concept. Then we also have another working capital change, that is the deferred income taxes under non-current liabilities. This one will be also there. I do Control Enter, and also the other non-current liabilities. Actually, this one we will just take them as working capital changes. Also Control Enter, isn't it? So after that, we shall come here and just a small illustration. Let me add here another column. No, here the column will not enter. Let me just do here another small illustration so that you know. So we have the shift previous. We have previous tab, and shift we have current. So like I can say the previous, let me say this previous is balance, brought forward, tab, and the current is carried forward, balance carried forward, isn't it? Yeah. And it's just as simple as this. We go like for assets, and just write here assets tab, and we have also liabilities. So for liabilities, it will be the carried forward minus brought forward, isn't it? And for assets, it will be the brought forward minus the carried forward, isn't it? I want you to take that. I'll do shift space, then shift control plus to add, shift control plus to add again. So I'll take this here. I'll do Control X. Then I want to paste them here up so that we go with it. Isn't it? Now I come back. So like we have account receivables, isn't it? Account receivables. So for account receivables, it's an asset, so it will be the brought forward minus the carried forward. I don't know if you are getting this. Let me show you where is it, the account receivable here. So the brought forward will be for 2016 minus for 2017, but now starting from 2016 for the year, it will be the 2015 minus what was in 2016, isn't it? This way, you don't have to know that if it's an asset, you have to know if it's negative or positive. As in, the thing is simple. Let me just explain here. Like you can see from here in 2015, we had our account receivable to be 95.4, and in 2016 we have 102.9. And you see it has increased, so it means people are not paying us, so it will be a less here. So for it to be a less here, it will be equals, you take what was in the brought forward, this one was brought forward, minus what was the closing balance of that year, which is this one, isn't it? You do Control Enter. Then you come to inventory. I shall just do all equals inventory. Also, it's an asset, so it will be what was in 2015 minus the 2016. Enter. Then for accounts payable now this one is a liability, isn't it? It will be what was in 2016. Sorry, I had not started with. Now what will be in 2016 minus what was in 2015, the opposite of that. Control enter. Other current assets is an asset. It's an asset, so it will be equals to, where is it? It's here. It will be the previous minus the current. Control enter. Then other current liabilities here, it's a liability. So the current minus the previous, control enter. Then for deferred income taxes, also it's a liability. It's a liability, it's here. So the current minus the previous, control enter. Also for other non-current liabilities, because this one you cannot take it under financing. So we will take it here from working capital changes. Here it will be equals to what was in the current year, the 2016 minus the 2015, control enter. Then I'll select all these here, select all these. And I come here, I want them to be in brackets, the negative sign, so that it looks good. I come here under number, I click the arrow pointing down this way. It's loading, but it's coming, just a minute. Yeah, so it's here. So I come to custom, then I select on this one that doesn't have red and 2 decimals, this one here. Then I come here, I put my cursor there after the negative, I rub the negative, I open brackets, and I come here, I close my brackets, then I do okay. Okay, so the negatives are in brackets, and I just merge it along up to there. So you can see, like, from there we have finished for operating activities. So cash flows from operations, and I can do control enter. Then I also do alt H2. Just so this one will be the sum. So equals sum, press tab, and so I'll add everything. Control enter, control bolt. Then I'll do alt HBP for a top border. Then I drag them along. From there, we go to investing. So I'll do alt H2 for italics, then control bolt, and I do investing activities. I press tab, and so under investing activities we have the let me say acquisition of PPE. Let me just do PPE, but it's acquisition of PPE. So, and it's an asset. So we shall just take directly. This one we will not minus the depreciation actually, because like we are doing accumulated, we are not doing the single one. So we just take the whole thing because it's going accumulated thing. And so we said for assets is the previous. So the previous year minus the current for 2016, isn't it? Then I do this way. I cannot drag along, also I'll drag later. Okay, is equals another investing activities, maybe the other non-current assets also, isn't it? So the other non-current assets here, enter. So that one we shall take the previous also. We shall take the previous minus the current. So it will be here. It will be equals what is our previous one? Here it is 300 here minus the 367, isn't it? Because it's an asset, isn't it? Then I think from there we have finished everything to do with I think investing, because I don't see any investing activities. So I'll do alt H2, control bolt, cash flows from investments, tab. I'll do alt equals, control enter, control bolt, then alt HBP for top border. Then I come, I select the whole thing here. I drag them along up to 2018. All right, so we go to financing activities. Alt H2, Control Bolt, Shift, financing activities, Control Enter. So under financing activities, what do we have? Let me see. Under financing activities, we have the short-term debt, isn't it? The short-term debt here, because it's a liability. So let me come here, I can do equals, and I just take the short-term liability here, enter. Also, we have equals, we have the long-term liability here, enter. And our deferred income taxes we already dealt with. Maybe issuance of, let me say, shares. The shares can either be buyback or issuance. So let me say buyback stroke issuance of shares. The company can also buy back. And what else? For retained earnings, that one will lead to dividends paid, isn't it? Dividends paid. This one will lead to dividends paid tab. All right, and I think there's nothing else there. So what we'll do, our short-term debt is a liability, so it will be equals the current. Where is it here? The current, this one, minus the previous here. We do Control Enter. And for long-term liability also equals the current. For the long-term debt, not liability here. The long-term debt here is the current minus the previous. Control Enter. Also for shares, the same thing. If you have share premium, here is where share premium comes, but you will just take this one minus this one because there is no share premium there. Enter. Then dividends paid here equals minus. We start with a negative because we are given dividends. We are given dividends from the income statement from 2018 here, but they will go in as a negative. Control backspace to jump to the active cell. So cash flows from financing, Alt H2, Control Bolt, Control Enter. I'll come here, I'll do Alt equals, Control Enter, Control Bolt, Alt HBP for top border, and I just select everything. All right, then I come to net change in cash flow, net change, Control Bolt, Alt H2, net change. I just write net change, Control Enter. So our net change here, it will be equals our cash from operating plus investments plus financing, Control Enter, and I do Alt H2. Then I do Control Bolt, Alt H BU. I just want so that I just at least visible, isn't it? Yeah. So we can we come here, we check. Let me say cash and cash equivalent. So this one will be F2 to edit. If you want to edit a text, like let me say you are here. When you come directly and you start typing, it drags, isn't it? Control Z to go back. So to edit, you just press F2, isn't it? Also brought forward tab and carried forward, Control Enter. So we are looking for what was brought forward. So cash and cash equivalent here for 2016. I start with the equal sign, then I go back. You can see we only had marketable securities. So for brought forward, it will be actually for 2015, not 2016, isn't it? Control Enter, Control backspace to jump to the active cell, and you drag that along. And now for carried forward is the closing balance of that year, because we are starting from 2016. So we shall start from the closing balance of 2016, isn't it? Control Enter, Control backspace to jump to the active cell, and drag along. Sorry. Sorry, my mouse is a little bit. I drag there, isn't it? And just let me say like control bolt. Let's say it's a check. Control enter. Equals. So to always check, you take the brought forward, shift plus the net change, isn't it? Control enter. Then you take that there. You can see, so to get the carried forward, it's the brought forward minus the net change, isn't it? That one was a little bit simpler, And let me see. All right, we will go to part 2 of the same. That is, this question was in the pilot paper, December 2022, the pilot paper before the real examination. So the question reads this way. You are provided with the following extracts of financial statement, or the statement of profit and loss and statement of financial position for the Rubini Limited for the years 2020, 2021, and 2022, ending 30 June. There is the statement of profit and loss. And below that is a statement of financial position, isn't it? And I've been asked to prepare the statement of cash flows for the company for the 2 years ended 2021 and 2022. So for the 2 years, isn't it? I like to put it across me here. I'll do Control C, then I come here. I do Control V, isn't it? And I do statement of cash flows. Control Enter, Control Bolt, merge and center. So we've been asked from 2022, 2021, Control C and Control V, isn't it? So statement of cash flows for the year 2021 and 2022. And just to look, the first thing you look is, are we starting with the profit before tax, or I can just start with the profit after tax? And I said to look that you can look for the current liabilities. You have payables and overdraft, and also you can look for the where the non-current liabilities. I think they are up. You can also look where the non-current liabilities. Here it's long-term liability. There is no anything like deferred tax and or current tax or income tax expense. So we can just begin from a net profit. Yeah, net profit. Control Enter. Like Control X, you come here. Control V, then Alt H2, Control Bolt, operating activities. Control Enter. So these one are the operating activities. Actually, I can merge the two because I will not be using the first box. So the operating activities. So we shall just start from the net profit equals. What's our net profit for 2021 is there. Control Enter. I can do this, or I can do later, but it's good I do it now. From there we have we come to our income statement. You can see, I think we had depreciation tab. Sorry, shift tab to go back. I delete the debt equals. So minus, because it's a negative and we are adding back. Here it's where we add back. So we introduce the negative, and I can do later or do now. Let me do later. So under working capital, so we have the finance cost also. Press tab equals. Our finance cost is negative, but we are adding back, so it will come as a positive. Control Enter, isn't it? And what else do you have? I think under our income statement, there is nothing here. There were no additional information, so I'll just take the two and do this way. Then I come to, let me widen here. Then I come to RH2, Control Bolt, working capital changes. So under working capital changes, we have the inventory tab, and we have the accounts payable, and we also have the account receivables, isn't it? Here we shall just use these two, isn't it? So I said for inventory, equals, it's an asset. So we will take the previous for the 2020 minus what was in 2021, isn't it? That is inventory. Control enter. Also I'll do for payables, and we have like 10 minutes or so, because okay, for payables it's a liability. So we shall take the current minus the previous. So what was in 2021 minus what was in 2020. Control enter, control backspace to jump to the active cell. And for account receivable equals, it's an asset. We shall take the previous minus the current. Where is it? It's here. The previous minus the current. Control enter, control backspace. Again, I'm there already. So it was just for 2 years. I'll take this one here, the two like that. And so you see here, because I started with net profit, I'll not have to do the adjustments of what is it called? The tax, because so I'll just come control bolt. Then I do cash flows from operations. So cash flows from operations tab, I'll do equals sum. Press tab and I just add everything. Up to here. Control enter. Then I'll do Alt HBP for top border, control bolt. And also I can do Alt H2 just so that it becomes like in italics. And I drag that there. So those ones are the cash flow from operations. So we'll go from investing to investing. I mean, not from. Control bolt, investing, activities, control enter. Then I said like I can merge the two so that it looks a little bit neater there, that way. And so like I come here. So for investing activities, I think here, like for investing activities, you always look at the statement of financial position, and mostly the non-current assets. You can see we only have property, plant, and equipment. So it will be either acquisition or disposals. So let me just write it PPE. We press tab equals. So so our PPE is an asset, as I said. So we shall take our opening balance, isn't it? This one, and we shall minus the depreciation. But depreciation in our question is in negative, so I'm adding the depreciation, and I minus the current because it's an asset. Control enter, isn't it? And also you can come here, you can just come on this box here and you do control R, control right, and it copies actually the formula that was in the right side, isn't it? So under there is no any other. There is no any other. So I'll just cash flows. From investing or investment. We press tab equal. Actually, it's what's above here. So I just take it. I do control bolt. I do Alt H2 just to make it a little bit more. I press tab, then I press control R. It copies what was on the right side. So we come to financing activities. Financing activities. Control enter, and I merge with the first one. Or you can merge the whole thing. I merge the first one. So under financing activities, remember, we shall have let me see. Yeah, you can just come under here. You see, first we have borrowings. So it can be loan acquisition or loan repayment. So I'll just write where is it? Long-term borrowings. I just write long-term debt. isn't it? Equals. So under long-term debt, it's a liability, so equals to the current minus the previous. Control enter, and I take that one there like that. And what else am I forgetting? Let me see. You see, our paid up capital will just remaining the same, and we've not been told of anything. In fact, our retaining earnings are increasing, so we have not been told anything of to do with the dividends. So what I'm forgetting is the finance cost. Actually, you see, the finance cost is being paid also. Under this finance cost, you can either take it as a, let me say, as a what? You can take it as a operating activity, but you also, if it's just a finance cost to do with the, what are they called? To do with the maybe debentures, interest paid on debentures. So that way it comes under financing. So it can fall anywhere. It can fall anywhere. And I remember here, it's not coming it's coming as a negative. Remember when we entered the app, we entered this as a positive. You can see here we entered it as a positive, but here because we are paying out, it's coming out as a negative, isn't it? Yeah. So we shall drag that along, and sorry, it has adjusted. So we shall drag that there, or I just do Control R, isn't it? Then I think there's just loan acquisition and finance. I don't think there's anything else. Then let me see the question. So you can just see, you can just take a look for the statement of financial position. Here, the long-term debt we have all the PPE we have dealt with it, inventories. This one we have dealt with them. So we are remaining with cash and cash equivalent, and the long-term debt we have dealt, accounts payable we have dealt, bank overdraft is a cash and cash equivalent, and paid up and retained. Actually, there is nothing else, so it will be cash flows from financing. Cash flows from financing. Let me just hurry up. Bold. So this one I'll do Alt equals, Control Enter, isn't it? Control Bold. Then I do Control R to copy what is on the right. Then I come here, I do equals. I'll just take this because we have like 2 minutes. I'll just take the net change. I don't want to write. So our net change, it will be equals our this one, shift plus from investing, shift plus from financing, Control Enter, Control Bolt, Alt HBU, and I do Control R, isn't it? So like our brought forward tab and our carried forward, isn't it? And we also have our check here. Let me skip one line. We also have our check there. We also have our check, isn't it? So for our balance brought forward, actually, our balance brought forward, it's what was in 2020, from what was in 2020. So, and we have two. So it will, sorry, and it's going fast, and I'm almost running out of time. So I want to finish this, and so that we start. So we shall take it will be the two. Where is it? The cash and cash equivalent, this one, and minus, because this one is actually an overdraft, isn't it? Control Enter. Then I take them there that way. And for this one, it will be from 2020, isn't it? This one here, minus this one here. Then I Control Enter. Then I do this way. Then for our check, let's keep one line equals. So it will be what was there plus the net change. Control Enter. You can see our check is just to confirm our cash and cash equivalent carried forward actually. So let's log out and log in again. And if you are watching this video on YouTube, please remember to subscribe. And remember also we have online classes at a very affordable price. So we are logging out and we come back to continue with part 3, isn't it?